What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, listen, the live stream last night was out of control. Man, we had a hell of a time. If you missed it, you missed it. But you can go check the replay out. It'll be in one of the pop-ups at the end of the video. Trust me, if you want to laugh, you'll enjoy yourself. And thank you for everybody that came and gave super chats and donations and everything. You know, it's always love, and I do appreciate y'all supporting me. But listen, this story broke last night, and I was too lazy to do it because it was late. But anyway, this story right here is about details involving the stabbing of Derek Chauvin. Now, Derek Chauvin, we all know who he is. He's the guy that stood on the neck of George Floyd, which cost George Floyd his life. May he rest in peace. Now listen, this guy's been locked up for a minute out there in a federal prison in Tucson, Arizona. And the details have come out, and the reason why Derek Chauvin has been stabbed has came out. Now, what's shocking is the man got stabbed 22 times. I'll get into that in a second, but I'm going to play you two news videos giving you the details. The first news video will show, this catches you up on everything that they know so far, and they're broadcasting us, the public. So let's run into that and check that out real quick, and then we'll come back. I'll talk a little bit. We'll go to the smaller one. Check it out.
That we're getting with a federal inmate now getting charged with attempted murder after prosecutors say he stabbed Derek Chauvin 22 times. So this is some breaking news that's just coming into us. I want to sort of set the scene for this here. Remember who Derek Chauvin is. He's the former Minneapolis police officer convicted in the murder of George Floyd back in 2020. According to this indictment that is just out now, there was an inmate that had allegedly been planning to attack Chauvin for about a month. I want to bring in Danny Savalos for more on this now. And Danny, this is interesting news to a lot of people here. We learned days ago that Chauvin had been stabbed in prison. There were questions about his condition. At the time, his family, his lawyers trying to understand what had happened to him here. Now we're getting some new details from this indictment. Talk us through it.
Yeah, basically what we're learning is that the stabbing was not just a one or two incident. It wasn't just a single stab. It was apparently, allegedly, many stab wounds that Derek Chauvin suffered. And now he is being charged for attempted murder by another inmate. So this is something that because if it wasn't a federal facility, they would have exclusive jurisdiction. So that's about all we know at this stage. But that Derek Chauvin survived, and they believe they have enough to charge with attempted murder, which in a stabbing case, you generally don't have to get too high over the bar to make it to attempted murder.
I believe it was the case that Chauvin's attorneys, back when he was sentenced, back when he was put in prison, had asked for him to be held separately because they had some concerns, given the nature of his case and how high profile it was, that he could be a target.
That's right. And BOP would have taken that into consideration. What you find, though, is that a lot of inmates really don't want to be in protective custody because it's miserable. I mean, being alone all day, every day in protective custody, whether it's the SHU, special housing unit, whether it's whatever facility, state or federal, being held in isolation is so bad. I'm told that often inmates would rather just be in general population, or at least around some other inmates, which of course in Derek Chauvin's case could put him at risk. I don't know how the BOP classified him. They obviously would have classified him as at least medium security, I would suspect. So it really depends on the facility and the unit in which he was being held.
Do we know anything more? And again, forgive me, this is broken since we've been on the air in just the last 15, 20 minutes here. Do you know anything more about how this inmate, now charged with attempted murder, made the plans for this attack, how this was actually carried out?
Yeah, this is breaking, so we don't know exactly yet. It could be information that'll be revealed as time goes on. But as it stands, I mean, I know personally that it's not difficult for inmates to smuggle things into the prison or make them there, whether it be weapons, cell phones, all manner of things. And usually it's pretty tough to get other inmates to talk about another inmate. If they have information, usually they have to offer them some kind of deal. And in that case, then they're much more willing to come forward and inform on their cellmate.
Any word on Chauvin's condition tonight?
None so far. I mean, no information on his condition. No update, rather. I mean, this was known that he had been allegedly stabbed a couple days ago, but now more information is emerging about his injuries and the indictment itself.
What happens to this inmate from here, Danny, the one who's now charged with attempted murder? Because obviously this is a person who is already behind bars, right?
Yes, and this happens more often than you may think. I've defended actually murder cases by inmates upon other inmate violence, and it happens fairly often, more often than you may even think, or maybe as often as people think, given what they know about prison. But what happens here is that this is a person who they'll have no problem transporting to court because they know where he is already. He's in custody. Therefore, he's treated like any other inmate in custody. Obviously, he's going to be isolated and then brought to court. And this will proceed like any other criminal case when a defendant is in custody.
Danny Savalos, thank you very much for bringing us this developing news tonight. Again, just coming into us, the person who is allegedly stabbed, Derek Chauvin, now being charged with attempted murder from behind bars. Danny, thanks.
All right, guys, that's the story about this guy getting stabbed up 22 times. And in a previous video, I said I don't think he's going to make his prison sentence. And I'm going to elaborate on that, where I think it's almost certain he will not make these 22 years he's supposed to serve. This man up here that's pictured here is the guy that stabbed him. And surprisingly to me, he's not black. This guy right here is 52-year-old John Tursak, right? He's currently serving a 30-year prison term for crimes involving him and his affiliation in the Mexican mafia, aka the Black Hand. Now, this guy right here, after stabbing Derek Chauvin, is facing an additional 40 years if convicted of the attempted murder charge. Now, I'm going to show you in this video, this 1-minute video that I've seen that elaborated a little bit further of why he did this. And I want you to pay attention to this, because I'm going to tell you something. Jail and prison is racially segregated, usually, especially out west. You have different factions, different gangs. They all claim certain part of the prison, and they claim, you know, they just stick with each other. Now, let's play this video, and I'm going to come back and just give you my take on this whole thing. I don't think he's going to make it this 22 years that he's going to have to finish serving. And I'm going to tell you why. Check it out.
News.
Thanks for joining us. We begin with breaking news in the prison stabbing of Derek Chauvin.
New court documents show an inmate and former Mexican gang member stabbed him 22 times. Chauvin is serving more than 20 years for the murder of George Floyd. Jeff Wagner has been following this, has some new details for us right now. Jeff, what's happening?
Well, Frank, federal prosecutors say that inmate is 52-year-old John Tursak. They charged him today with attempted murder. He's serving a 30-year sentence for crimes committed while a member of the Mexican mafia gang. Here's what prosecutors say happened on Black Friday. Tursak stabbed Chauvin 22 times with an improvised knife in the law library. Chauvin was taken to a hospital for treatment. Tursak told correctional officers he would have killed Chauvin had they not responded so quickly. This happened at the Federal Correctional Institution in Tucson, Arizona. Prosecutors say Tursak later told FBI agents that he had been thinking about assaulting Chauvin for about a month, but denied wanting to kill him. Tursak told the agents that he attacked Chauvin on Black Friday as a symbolic connection to the Black Lives Matters movement. After the stabbing, Tursak was moved to an adjacent federal prison in Tucson. Records show he's still in custody there today. He faces up to an additional 40 years if convicted on these new charges, Frank.
Okay, that's the reason why he said he stabbed Derek Chauvin, Mr. John Tursak, claiming Black Lives Matter, in remembrance of Black Lives Matter, stabbed him on Black Friday. Mexican mafia symbol, the Black Hand. I'm going to tell you something. Like I said, I'm surprised he's not black. But I'm going to tell you how bad this is. This is really bad. Not only is he dealing with the Mexican mafia, this guy is going to get a conviction off of stabbing said Derek Chauvin. So now somebody got time that's in the Mexican mafia because of you, whether he did something to provoke the attack or not. Now it's beef with them. They don't let stuff go, y'all. I've been in the feds. I know how this stuff works, how to get down. Now it's beef with them because one of their own is caught up in something. And this guy is going to be blamed for it, even though he was supposedly unprovokedly attacked. They're going to have to be careful of where they move him. He might have to be segregated, whether he wants to or not. That's the thing about prison politics. A lot of times, man, stuff will come to you and you ain't got nothing to do with anything. And just you surviving that attack can put you in a whirlwind of trouble. Now, Black Friday, he was attacked. All these inmates and all this stuff, the news is being shown around. So now he's known as being attacked on Black Friday or dealing with anything. Now, remember, I told you in my other videos that anytime, you had these cops that brutalize people and they go to prison, they're in danger because every time this is shown on TV by the media of saying something that wants to trigger you, people in prison a lot of times get triggered. You understand what I'm saying? People hate cops in prison because cops put them where they are. He's a cop. People know who he is. He is in a shitload of trouble. Now, Mexicans are the ones that tore him up, right? What you think black folks gonna do now? Oh, hell no, that's not their fight, that's ours. Now you got beef with blacks and you got beef with Mexicans. Somebody tell me I'm lying. That's been locked up. See, this right here is a serious thing. He might have to be in isolation. I don't know how he gonna do his bid, but this guy right here is marked, and he's marked with blood. This right here is a very serious thing. Now, he was stabbed 22 times, right? And I'm gonna tell you something. I think, honestly, in all honesty, out of them 22 times, all 22 was not in the body. Because they said life-saving measures. He fought for himself. So a lot of times it's in his hands, in his arms, might be in his face a couple of times, in his back. But like vital organs, I think he might got touched a couple of times. Now, for him to get stabbed 22 times, the dude had to get the drop on him. You could hit somebody 22 times in a minute, 45 seconds. Because, they poke you quick. It might be less than that. My opinion, I think he was hit when he was not looking, and that's when the majority of the stabs was until he put his hands up. But this guy survived, and the worst is yet to come. All of this, man, he got beat, man. I don't know if y'all know how serious this is, man. Now, Mexican mafia is involved. They're all over the prison system. Once you come to different places, inmates know who you are because you got to come through what? Processing. People put the word in, such and such here. Or they know you coming. They're going to try to get him closer to the East Coast. You see what I'm saying? So he might have to go somewhere where it's less Mexican mafia members. Or they might put him somewhere up in Maine. I don't know. The prison system right now, it's danger everywhere. They can't put you in no safe place. And that's one thing you got to understand. There's no safe place in prison, ever. I was in a low security thing and people was getting their heads cracked open daily. I almost got my life ended in there off of something I didn't even know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Prison, nobody can protect you. Same thing with jail. You see it all the time. Fulton County Jail, inmates getting tore out the frame. Harris County Jail, where I'm at, people dying all the time. They got a problem. People just dying mysteriously. No prison guard is going to help you. It's a daycare center. They're getting a paycheck and they're going home to see their wives and children. That you are not on their mind. You are not their friend. I see inmates laughing and joking with guards. Somebody come up and stick them in the right way and that blood shooting them people out of there. They don't want no parts of that. Nobody can protect this man. And he got a long, long road of survival, not recovery, of survival. Because now everybody's going to take a piece out of him because his life wasn't ended. And somebody else can say, you know what, I can do a little bit better than that. Every time anything come up with Black Lives Matter, anything coming up with Mexican Mafia, anything coming up with Black Friday, he's attuned to it to where, he got to keep his head on a swivel. And I don't know, a lot of people, like I said, he would have to click in with a faction or something and get connected the way he would have to surround himself around people that's going to watch his back. I don't know too many people that do that. It's something to think about. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. See you guys in the next video. Take care.